Okay, we are live. Hi. Today started with 4 a.m. smoke detector in my ear, so I'm half asleep today. But the release is done, and so far it seems like not everything is on fire. So that's pretty good. Let me pull up what we've been doing lately. Welcome, Magidermer. Welcome. So I've released a few different things here. Almost at 500 on the release, which I would say is decent. Half of what I was hoping for, but decent. 36,000 views. And then we've got this new article that I just posted. So if you're interested in some of the technical details of our release, a few of them are right here. So I think here's the plan for today. We're gonna just do a little bit of stuff on meta. I've got articles to like polish up and release all week. I did push the Docker build, so if you want the Docker, that is now available. And other than that, yeah, I think we're just going to see what we can do on meta, since the goals for the next couple weeks are to gain a fair bit of traction on 3.0, just like tell everyone about all the stuff we've built, fix some stuff for the meta guys, because they have an RLM that really should work by now, but we'll help them out. And then, yeah, the tactical, like, massive multi-agent battle sim. Those are all the things we're going to be building. This is going to be a pretty easy week, though. I'm not going to push too hard. I'm not going to work crazy hours this week. We're going to consider this sort of transition phase between 3.0 release and whatever I start working on next to be just that, transition phase. So hopefully we make meta, have some really nice policies, we launch some cool experiments, we clean up some stuff on 3.0, maybe we make some cool stuff with drones, and then we're getting to more, this is probably going to be like the heavy industry arc, frankly, in which Puffer's got to grow as a company, right? So we got to build more interesting, like, industry side sims that are not just games. Okay, so let's talk about meta. So first of all, I accidentally deleted my Docker container like a goober in the process of uploading the other one. So let's fix that real quick. And this time we're going to follow their instructions exactly. And we're going to see what happens when we do that. I think it's probably just going to break everything, but we shall see. Yeah, there it's downloading some jank version of PyTorch. Can we just, like... Good day, welcome, Finn. How's it going? Just do this. See what this does. I don't like that this is pinning torch, man. Guess we'll do it anyways. You can always reinstall it. Okay. Now what we do is we attempt to render the model. Still doesn't exist. Install npm. Which I hate JavaScript. You need to install the Node version manager in order to install the Node package manager. Wow. We're going to very much limit the amount that I have to interact with this. Interacting with web programmers in general, like, you get stupider by the minute, I swear. You just get dumber by the minute. Web is easy? Yeah, it's very easy when you just write HTML and CSS. It's a total pain in the ass when you look at modern web stacks. It's awful. I literally just like open any of the modern JavaScript frameworks. And I mean, you don't even have to open the framework. Just the fact that you install a version manager to install a package manager is insane. Already. You've already lost. Okay. Does just do this. Where are you coming from? Most easiest things. I'm coming from a perspective of writing very complicated things and making them very simple, and really not liking when people take very simple things and make them very complicated. Yeah, because RL is much harder than web dev. Like, just fundamentally, on an algorithmic level, like, it is a hard thing. But if you look at the code that we write to, like, do state-of-the-art reinforcement learning, our code is simpler and easier to read and follow than, like, any basic tutorial on modern web development. So that should tell you something. Now, the things that you'll run into with difficulty on RL are not even problems with like the aren't problems with the code, right? It's problems with like fundamental learning dynamics and stuff. That stuff is hard. But that's very different from like the code is more complicated than it needs to be. It's possible to show us how you start working with target square n. What do you mean? Like this? So puffer train, puffer target. It trains in 20 seconds. 25 seconds, whatever. You can track this on Neptune or Wandby by just adding dash dash Neptune or dash dash Wandby. There's training. That puffer train command does the exact same thing as just running pufferlib slash pufferlib.pufferl. So it's just running that script. There's no magic at all. Puffer eval target load model path latest. This is also on the docs. Like if you look at the cheat sheet, this is in the docs. And then there you go. There are your puffers. How you train a very new custom environment? The exact same way. So if you follow the target tutorial, it shows you how to set up your own environment, and then that same training command, that same setup, like everything works there. And there's even like a checklist of things that can go wrong. So if you tell me like where you are in building a new environment and like what is confusing, I will help and possibly even update the docs for you. Hey Brad, how's it going? Have you looked into active inference and free energy principle before? Nope, not at all. I'm vaguely aware though that there are like separate communities that have kind of framed different they've kind of framed the same problems in different ways in RL and like in decision making in general. So I don't know how much overlap there is versus like how many things are the same versus the same with different words versus actually being different things. The way we have things now in RL, not in RL literature, that's a mess. But if you look at the way that we have things now, how we do RL and pufferlib, it's very simple. It's like very, very simple. Yeah, let's see if we can. What I'm trying to do at the moment, for reference here to people, is we've got this RL environment. It looks like this. This is third party. This is from the Meta guys. And they've got this like factory-esque environment here. And basically, we have models that are at least as good as theirs and train faster, but nobody has good models on this. And I trained really good models on a previous version of this environment. So something's broken, and I want to figure out why for them. But the problem is I can't really run their training code. I can't really run their renderer. So I'm kind of blind at the moment, and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with that. So if we can at least get like the playable version of this to run. Okay. So this is web GPU. What do you think we have to do to reach AGI? We need to get rid of episodic training, etc. Not really. It's not like episodes or the problem or like any, it's just complexity in general, right? We need to scale this stuff to more complex and interesting environments, and the algorithmic changes that we make along the way need to be motivated by a combination of like very carefully designed probe environments in which we isolate each potential thing that's wrong with an algorithm, and then also just like actual learning at scale on complex tasks. And by scale, I mostly mean data scale. A really big problem with RL was just everything is so slow you couldn't do research without thousands of GPUs. That is now fixed with Pufferlib. We can do research very, very fast. So there's algorithms work to be done. You know, there's simulator work to be done. The road ahead is actually fairly clear though now. Whereas before it was just kind of a mess. Now stuff is pretty sane and stable. And RL is like no longer cursed. RL is just a field that needs progress on it now. Before it was like we have no idea what to do, nothing works, all the papers are wrong. Now at least we have a basis for making progress. Was it that slow? Yes, Pufferlib is literally more than 1,000 times faster than everything else. Like that seems like a joke or an exaggeration, but it's not. We trained Pufferlib for 1.0, I mean for 3.0. We have a training run on 1 petabyte of observations. That is more than 20 times the amount of data used for training all of GPT-4. And we did that on 1 server that is sitting right behind me over there. Do we need better reward specification? I mean, there are a lot of things we potentially need. You can read, actually, I released an article today about what we did on the algorithm side for 3.0. That's on X. But there's like some technique stuff on how to better define observations and rewards, but I think a lot of it is going to be like sane algorithm work, I would think. Like there's actually quite a bit to do on the algorithm side. And the thing is, like, the algorithm side was very, very heavily explored in RL research. There are hundreds and hundreds of papers, but all the experiments sucked. So like we literally don't know if any of that stuff works. That was the issue. So it's not necessarily that like, oh, it's already all been tried. I think it's the problem is just like nobody actually carefully controlled anything, and all the results are just invalid. How did you get such a huge improvement? We rewrote the entire RL stack from the ground up. That's what we did. We have our own vectorization for parallel simulation. We have our own optimized environment format. All our environments are C and use that. We have our own C API to make it easier to write that. We have like 25 different environments now where like we've gone through the process of making it really, really fast and easy and simple to make tons of different types of sims. We have our own trainer where like we rewrote all that from the ground up. It's literally you had to just redo the whole field. I mean, this has been like I've been working way harder than I worked in my PhD over this, and it's been a bit over a year of just like really working on this to make this happen. And that was a year that's like basically been informed by 7 years of being an RL and seeing what the field was like and trying to push the envelope in academia before that. Is there like a settings thing? Do you have any thought on adaptive clip? Adaptive clip PPO. Um, Let me check for you real quick. I think I do have thoughts. This is probably the best one, the best set of experiments to use for you. Let me see if I find it. We'll give you thoughts informed by like actually good data instead of just me guessing. Okay, so here you have it. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, and it depends on your environment, but like I don't think that you actually get that much out of adaptive clipping coefficient. I think that the main thing is that you need to have some clipping because otherwise you corrupt the policy. And the amount that you have to be careful with that depends on the environment and other settings. But like on our harder environments, like anything from 0.2 to 0.6-ish was kind of fine. There's not like a very sharp peak, I would say, where it's like, oh yeah, it has to be almost exactly 0.2 or something like that, or like it could change over the course of training. I don't think that there's too much in that parameter specifically that you have to worry about. Let me see, is there a parameter where... I mean, honestly, stuff like the atom betas, which are like sharper, could even be a reason for that. Or actually, the one that's really important, if you want adaptive anything, it's adaptive gamma. All right, adaptive gamma, or like better yet, some way to replace generalized advantage estimation with something that automatically adapts would be way, way, way better. Self-organizing approaches. So stuff that's like genetics inspired has traditionally been really bad, and yeah, it just has not worked at all. But I think with Puffer now, it could kind of work. You'd at least get something interesting. And the reason is that we can train, like genetic stuff, we should absolutely be able to train 10 million plus steps per second. So when you can do that, like, we could probably do something like simulate 100,000 years worth of experience or something, and then you should actually be able to get some cool stuff out of it. So Richard Sutton's, the stuff he's doing at Keen at the moment, I don't know what he's doing. Like the Atari robot control, like the robot controlling Atari stuff, is pretty diametrically opposed from what I do and how I think that RL is going to be advanced. Yeah. Defining their own step sizes. Well, that's kind of done implicitly. So if you look at any of the optimizer work, like we have muon added in, that's kind of what you're doing. Like you're using very loose curvature estimates, right, to adjust step size. So I don't think that you need like the agent sets its own step. That's like part of the optimizer basically. And I don't think it's specific to RL. It's just generally good. And that's in the article as well. Like Muon was a big part of 3.0, like changing our optimizer to Muon. Does anybody know how to make WebGPU work on Linux? What is the chance that this link is just invalid AI garbage? Oh, it works. Cool. Well, it had to relaunch my chat, so I missed anything that was done in the last few seconds. We'll have a think if we can generalize to other params. Yeah, Finn, the big one right now, the one that I'm telling you is like legitimately a big problem in RL, is the gamma lambda in generalized advantage estimation. And gamma is way a bigger of a problem than lambda. That's adaptive horizon is what you need, not adaptive clipping. All right, and like the way that gamma does credit assignment, like it's like obviously really bad, but empirically it's really hard to beat. That's the issue with it. Firefox support WebGPU? Firefox does not support WebGPU. The heck? I have a recent enough Chrome. From 2013. There's a viewer that I need to load, Captain. Let me try this. Google Chrome unstable, not found. I have to do Google Chrome dev. Is it just Google Chrome dash unstable or something? Oh, I guess that works. Cool. Okay. So this is still failed. Shh. Have you ever considered tackling Arc AGI challenge? It's like again, it's like diametrically opposed from what I'm doing. you can't learn to solve those challenges from scratch. They basically rely on your built-in pattern recognition from like all of your experience elsewhere. You can't learn that type of stuff from scratch. But like my stuff solves problems that these LLMs fail hilariously badly at. So like they're just very different directions. Does this work? Thing. Yeah, no, stuff is just not working at all. So obnoxious. Oh, this does work. Super slow, but it works. Okay, so this doesn't work. I'm trying to think what I do about this. Out of curiosity, would you think pursuing a PhD is worth it now? I only suggest that people who know that they want to do a PhD do a PhD. That's generally my recommendation. Like, the people who should do a PhD, it's because you know that you want to do a PhD. Like in my case, it was I had a thing that was going to take 5 years to work on, and it kind of enabled all the tech with Pufferlib. There's still a whole bunch of annoying academic friction, even in the best cases. Like MIT was the best place I could have done for this. I had a very supportive advisor, and there's still just a bunch of pain in the ass stuff in academia. Pretty much, you do a PhD if you know you want to do a PhD. How do you support yourself doing open research nowadays? Puffer is a company. We have clients. So all our stuff's free and open source, but people can either pay us for specific things that they want done in reinforcement learning, or if they are doing reinforcement learning themselves, want to use our tools and want assistance with that, or they want custom features, etc., they can pay us for that. Inspired to still pursue research. Inspired that you still pursue research for your own causes makes me want to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, this is tech that just has to exist pretty much, and nobody's going to build it if I don't. The proof of that is in how much ludicrously faster Puffer is than everything else. Like, you should not be able to just like build a small open source thing and make something 1,000 times faster than what is out there and like also perform better. That's just not a thing that should happen. There should not be room for 1,000-fold improvement in like anything that anybody has tried. But there is. So it kind of just shows you how bad the state of the field was. And I saw the potential of what RL could do with like OpenAI 5 and AlphaStar and Go and all those results back in 2019. And this just had to work. It just had to be made to work. We couldn't just forget about RL because we're gonna pay for it. Like this is gonna be a key piece of so much tech in the future. I can see it, and this is the way that we have to make it work. We're not just gonna wait around for OpenAI and DeepMind and whoever else to decide that they want to do RL again and throw billions of dollars at it, right? We're gonna just do it in our garages. I only see it to provide value for the top research lab. I would agree. If you're an ambitious person, it is only worth doing a PhD in one of the top labs. I agree. I mean, I could say the same about university, but whatever. I want to pursue research independently. I love to collab with other researchers and their ideas. Academias can be discouraging of this open mindset, I guess. Yes, that is true. That's why I'm doing all this stuff open source in Puffer, right? So this is the place to do open source RL. PhD graduates are rolling out like crazy. The value of it does not hold as much weight as it used to. I mean, it's not that it's not valuable. It's that it's 5 years of your life, and like, if you graduate college at 22, you're 27 by the time you finish your PhD, and like a lot of that time is just not going to be very fun. AGI advancements also discourage me. It is tougher now. It depends on the field. If you go like to do a PhD to work on language models, and you're not at like one of the very few labs that has access to like actual industry scale hardware partnerships, you're not going to have a good time. I'm 15 and interested in cybersec. What should I focus on? You should learn like basic low level dev is what I would say. Like build some cool stuff in C, and then learn some cybersec from there. Like system stuff, like just basic system stuff will go a long way. You need to know like quite a bit of it doesn't overlap a ton with the type of stuff I do, but you kind of need to know like a lot of system stuff, and like a lot of exploiting stuff is knowing a lot about uh actually I'm not a cybersec person. Like I've done a tiny amount of stuff in that space, like barely. I will say that I think that the lectures are still online. There's like a University of Florida class on that, where the lectures I think are still on YouTube. That was pretty good. Um, yeah, that's about all I got for you in that. I make this thing not use WebGPU somehow? Super annoying. Firefox Nightly. Oh, this has to not be on the Docker. Okay. Made a PR which fixes the speed of drone on web. That sounds useful. Does it break it on desktop? Did you check? Do a quick merge for you. I'll get onto the website later. Oof. 135 lines to Oh, I didn't see you were using time. Hmm. You don't like my that's funny. What? Iron GC? Yeah, that's fine then. What the heck is this? Maybe Puffer should have a Clang format. I don't like to enforce formatters. It's like you either see the way the code is written and you try to do something vaguely similar, or you don't. Same that Impulse Wars does? Okay. I like how your ring buffer is a ring buffer. You made a buffer for rings that is a ring buffer. Okay, so most of this is just format changes, and then it's the one mscripting thing. Thank you. Hey, there we go. Works on Firefox Nightly. Please drop a replay file here to see a replay. Eh? Can I not actually play it? I think David sent me like he sent me this. Lovely. Back. Hey, Hyper. How's it going? Not gonna be busty because I can't freaking bench, man. Ugh. Haven't been able to bench in like 3 weeks because of the shoulder. Hopefully next week we go back at least to a plate. Building an MVP for stable diffusion stuff. Bench me. Before the shoulder injury, I could bench, I believe, 210 for 10. And then my best was my best single was a 265. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to training, but I have to be a little more careful this time. Drop a replay file here. Curious if you're excited about imitation learning, which seems popular in robotics, or is it all the way? Um, it's like it clearly doesn't get you everything, and it's also just like not a difficult or interesting problem. So it doesn't do too much for me, really. Like, imitation learning is kind of just easy, and like also it's not gonna like you're stuck to the data that you have is the issue with it, right? Like if you want to go out and collect new data, imitation learning doesn't do that for you. They do, man. Insane. I didn't paste this in wrong, yeah? Yeah, this is only a replay viewer. Why do you think it's so popular in robotics? Because RL's hard, and like for certain problems, like they can just collect a ton of data. I mean, it doesn't work for everything though, clearly, right? Like if I want to train like my drone environment or something that has like lower volume of data, what makes more sense? Trying to like go go run a million drones around and collect data forever, or like writing a few hundred line simulation? Perception issue. It's faster if you disentangle it. End to end is not bad. It's just you have to have more compute. Technically, end to end should be better overall. Working for Tesla right now, for instance, I don't know if they're doing strict RL or imitation. Probably mostly imitation. Can you leave some documents in description in YouTube? When I watch the video next day, I don't know what you're talking. So the problem with that is that I have VODs on X, YouTube, and Twitch, and there's no way to automatically label them. And there's also not like one topic per stream. It's just I stream all of my development, right? I am going to probably start doing like some sort of highlights or something. We'll see. But if you want GitHub repo, paper, and all that, that's always the same. So we have everything that you need at just puffer.ai. The GitHub, we have our Discord, we have X, we have our docs, we have all our environments. It's all at puffer.ai. Do you think robotics will eventually explore what they can do? I think they'll probably have to. I don't see how you get enough imitation learning data to do everything without collecting new stuff. It might technically be possible to do like this infinite bootstrapping thing. I don't know. It seems difficult. Your RL Robotics company. I'm not super interested in just doing like one specific app of robotics as a company and just like doing that, right? I want to make this tech stable, mature, and like I really want to just push RL as a whole as far as I possibly can. And then on the application side, we'll basically just be looking for wherever we think that our tech can really make a big difference in a specific area and get us, you know, a good chunk of revenue so that we can keep scaling up our research efforts. Off the top of your head, what is an environment that you want in Ocean? Oh, okay. Let me actually do stuff. Let me think of something for you here. Because there are a few simple things. Okay, this one's, I have one that's really simple. Let me think next. Okay, this is something really basic, but this would actually be helpful for research. And if you're interested in contributing to research, this would be like a really nice first step. Making it basically take my convert environment, which just has all the puffers going to different goals, okay, and just make the target spawn at a fixed radius from the center of the screen. Make that radius configurable through Python, so you can make it like wider or shallower. And then have the option to either put them at like fixed angle intervals so they're evenly spaced in a circle around you, or like randomly place them at that same fixed radius. The point of this is going to be we want to see if you train models, if like the model is just going to always learn to go to the same target, or if we can like get an algorithm that will naturally incentivize you to go to all the different options. And this is going to be used for, there's like this diversity is all you need paper thing that we were trying to replicate, and we needed like a basic environment like this. So that would be like one probe environment. And then I think generally we have like, there's several of these that we would like to have, which are like environments devoted to testing a specific interaction or a specific known quirk of learning algorithms. If you're looking for like cooler, larger things, then we can also talk about that. There are cooler, larger things we can do as well. Congrats on the big release. Thank you. Let me see if I understand. Put targets to reach in a ring at a fixed radius, either at fixed angle, spacing, or random. Yep. And then make the radius, like, things that you could set from Python could be like the number of targets, the radius, and then whether or not they're fixed spacing, like always the same order for the same color target, or randomized. In fact, to make it simpler, instead of randomizing the position, you can just have the flag randomize the order. That might even be better. So then we'd see if they always go to the same target or they always go to the same position. Like, yeah, we could see that. Like, that would be better. Yeah, do that. And yeah, thanks, Tim. It's been a lot of work. I'm wanting to see something like multi-agent Agar IO. Yeah, don't do that one. I asked Mikado for who like did the Agar IO. He went and he made an end like that. I asked for his blessing to like port it to a package, and we had a kind of an odd discussion. And yeah, he doesn't want to see it as a puffer env, which is kind of sad, but whatever. Like, we don't really need it anyways. I mean, it kind of depends what you're interested in, right? Like, the thing is, games are always nice for benchmarks. Probe environments are very useful if they're well designed for research. It's even more useful if you can like go actually conduct research using said probe environment, right? Like that's actually contribution to algorithm core, which is really awesome. Um, Industry adjacent stuff is also good. Like, think of like the big application areas in industry. Having more sims in that area is useful for us, and that actually generates us opportunities to like go into industry. And of course, if you build a sim and we find something in that space, we'll bring you on for that as well. Um, yeah, they're like a few different ways you can contribute effectively. What the heck is wrong with this thing? This thing doesn't have a setup.py or a PyProject toml. Is it like a UV install? Oh, looking for funding. That's funny. Really obnoxious, really. We kind of have to make this work, though. I have a message thread on the other monitor here with the author of this. I'll set up build. Okay. This again. Deactivate this. Crazy. Ah. die in here. Sink this bloody thing again. No, I shouldn't have to sink it again. Let's just do fresh clone. See what this does. Okay, let's try again. That's doing something. And if we do this on Firefox Nightly, of all places... Initialize successfully. So weird. I have the right URL, don't I? It's the port, I mean. Yeah, it goes to 127, which is the same thing. Not modified. Everything but there's one missing icon, no big deal. So weird. How's that even possible? The heck is this WebSocket URL thing? Oh, it was cache. Wait, what the heck? Okay, so there's some weird WebSocket thing. What is... fun. Simply no fun at all. Is this AWS? The hell is this thing? It's probably the dumb AWS thing, right? Oh, we're getting a little bit of traction on the article for something nice and technical is good. Pretty cool. A little bit of traction. Alright, apparently this is getting fixed right now. We can start looking at a little bit of their code in the meanwhile, because something is horribly, horribly wrong with it. I'm trying to think where we even start though. It's like there's so much stuff now. Now there's so much stuff. Meta. Oh, it's gonna give me an aneurysm, man. So much stuff, man. Comment out the exit. Okay. Okay. I mean, I get something new, but like, so there's data here. What? Can I just add S to this? No. This is Chrome. Should I make the targets move in a circle or fix them in place? Just fix them in place. Think I'm done? That was quick. Can you train up? Browser that supports web GPU, huh? Okay. Sent you an image on Discord? Yeah, 1 second. They finished just going absolutely insane over this garbage. You, man. Okay. These all work and these are fine, right? And then if I grab this thing, yay, it works. This is ridiculously laggy. See this image, and then we will figure out what's this env is doing. This thing's lagging my whole PC, though. Random angles. Distant. Perfect. Can you spawn all the puffers in the center? If you spawn all the puffers in the center and train it, you should see them all going to a target. Basically what I'm trying to figure out, and we're probably going to have to make them like all the same color or something. What we're basically trying to figure out to give you the idea here, let's say that there are like a bunch of different easily reachable goals, right? So like you could essentially you can get a reward by going to one of many goals. RL will tend to like send all the agents to the first goal it happens to find, and then it won't ever find any of the other ones. So we want to play with that a little bit. Okay. Be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then we will figure out how this environment works. I'll hook this up to hopefully print out rewards, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'll be right back though. Oh, I was gonna get more coffee, but 4 hours. That's okay. I will just suffer for the next couple of hours without any more coffee. Man. You know, one of the things I've noticed, I've been on like probably the most consistent healthy schedule I've been on in quite a while with exercise and food and sleep and everything. And it works great, but when something gets thrown off, it's like awful. So, fire alarm or smoke detector, I mean, woke me up at 4 in the morning. I had to go to the other building because it wouldn't shut up. And yeah, I just feel freaking exhausted today. That's okay. Ugh, man. All right. So, what agent is this? Let's get some info, maybe. Agents. Okay. I don't know what agent ID I'm on. Okay, so this is take a heart. Yeah. Where's the freaking converter? Lab red. Temple. Would you mind building and pushing drone? Yeah, 1 second then. Did this not push? Oh no, it did. The heck? What's wrong with this? Wrong repo. Okay, it looks good locally. Let's see on the web. I think. I have to go grab credentials. That. Okay, there is your push. Enjoy. Be live in a minute or two. Okay, that should give me some reward, right? Or does it need 3 hearts? Suggest GitHub's official CLI for auth. What do you mean? What ends up happening is it won't cache my credentials because I do all my dev directly in Docker. So every time I make a new Docker container, it forgets, and doesn't cache anymore. I mean, technically, I could just put my public key on the base. And I could just do it that way. That would probably be slightly better. Oh, do they? That would probably work. I think it'll like make a million different connections for me, though, is the thing. It'll just like generate a bajillion OAuth tokens. Thing's annoying. Cannot train it because I messed up my GPU credentials. You will literally be able to train that in CPU in like a minute. You should be able to train that thing super fast. But thank you. I will actually be using that. I have a contributor who'd be interested in that as well. A major. Oops. I probably missed messages here. Yep, hang on. So apparently, what you're supposed to do with this thing, you're supposed to like go over to, I guess this is a mine. The lasery. This is an altar, I guess. Inventory is 12 ore. They're gonna be so mad if this is what it is. If it's literally just like help me troubleshoot getting their game to build for half the day and then I play it for 5 minutes, I'm like, well, the game doesn't work. uh, that's how it goes most of the time, though. Ah, I have to. There's a second step. Okay. Okay, so now something should happen, right? Okay, so it made a heart. Yeah? Then what should happen is I get big reward. Where's my big reward? Total reward is 1. Total reward is 2. Yeah, I can work with this 100% now. Let's do this. Let's fix their thing. What do you say? What is so damn laggy? Is it this thing? It is this thing. Okay. So let's leave it like this to start. And what we'll do oops. Do magnesium. Maybe we'll just do like this, you know? Oh, there she done. Try this. I can 100% get this to work from here. Basically, well, you'll see what I do from my analysis in a bit, but this will be, if provided I actually can do this, you know, this will be a really nice example use for how I do my RL work. This is rare knowledge on how to debug horribly cursed and overbuilt systems. not the exciting content, but it is the valuable content. Okay, so here's our current run on meta of this run. Okay, so here's heart gained average. Now we need so initially generators have one battery. There are initially 2 generators and 10 mines on the map. Is that the case? Not what it looks like. Changed quite a bit here. Definitely need to be able to dump replays. Okay, so they start picking up some ore, and then they just stop doing that. Interesting. Can we get like multiple of these metrics? Make like a meta dashboard, eh? Okay. Red ore. This. We've got hearts. We've got red ore. We've got red batteries. The red batteries. This does actually go up nice and steady over time. 4 goes to here. This heart gain thing crashed. Am I reading that right? Yeah, this crashed. Oh, this is with all the cooldown zeroed as well. Yeah, that's interesting. So this should be super easy, and it's getting reward from somewhere. Looks like you can build really fast drones for 200 bucks. Ooh. That sounds fun. So I am thinking about like form factors. I don't know how interesting that is to you guys. And I don't know how like actually producing hardware at scale is quite difficult if we want to go that route. But that would basically guarantee us that we do something valuable enough that we never need to worry about research funding again, and everybody involved would be very happy. Because basically, like, if you got like a decent form factor that's more agile than a quadcopter, like you just control it with cracked out RL, and it would just be insane. Actually, I literally saw a thing on X where China has like mosquito drones now, which are horrifying. So I don't know. Maybe we build some like what eats mosquitoes that's fast? Hummingbirds? Maybe hummingbirds eat mosquitoes. I don't know. They probably don't. We'll come up with something. Small racing drones? Yeah. Are there any like reasonable things I can just buy that will have like the API connectivity is important, right? If there's like a $500 drone or whatever, I can I can like send you guys one, send Spencer one, and buy one for myself, and then we can just try stuff. How will you know when your work is done? What is the end goal? We're gonna make RL really, really, really good, and then my hope is that that's going to be very important for long-term general intelligence. And if it isn't, then we'll figure out what else to do. But at the very least, we're going to have really, really good reinforcement learning in a very wide variety of domains. It's going to be directly useful, and we're going to apply it in a bunch of different domains, and then we'll go from there. Hummingbird would be a cool prototype name. Yeah. Research parts. Yeah. So the thing is, like, I don't really care about like saving a couple $100 and like making you guys do a bunch of soldering. That's kind of dumb. Um, the like parts thing, like building your own stuff, would be if we want to explore different form factors, basically. And then that would be super cool. My hope is we can at least get like some like basic small thing signed, and then that'll be enough that I can like at least be send you guys a stipend or whatever for this stuff. And then if we land something bigger, we can figure out something bigger. Because you guys are doing really good work on the drone end, and you know, I want to make sure you get some value out of it. Start by sending you some drones, maybe. That'd be fun. Across the pond if we need any in-person jobs. That'd be cool. We'll have to set up something big for that, right? Like we basically, the way Puffer works, right? Puffer's not VC funded. So I have some money that I can fund small stuff with, but then bigger stuff has got to be essentially directly tied to revenue, right? So if we get something signed where a client is paying us to do stuff, then I can actually bring people on full time or for internships or whatever, and that can be larger. The upside to this is I don't have VCs breathing down my neck constantly, so I actually get to be involved with all the cool tech. Get rid of that bot. No VCs is the strat. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, look, if I had to deal with VCs, I would have collectively probably spent several months raising money, not building stuff by now. I'd have to be reporting to these assholes who like don't want you to open source stuff or like want you to work on dumb stuff that's like not gonna matter or like whatever. It's not a fun time. It's like for science side stuff, especially like this, it's just not a fun time. I know you want it on LinkedIn. I gotta do it. I know. Honestly, our most successful stuff, like we've mostly just been doing cold outreach at the moment, and it works pretty well because like our RL stuff is getting to be decently well known, and like just the credentials are kind of enough if people don't know any RL stuff to at least get you a meeting. And then when they see our tech, they're pretty darn happy, and then they want to follow up. So like we've had a bunch of meetings. It's just about finding like good problem fits. Man, they're doing something screwy here, I'm sure. So this should not get any reward, and if it does, something is wrong. Took Puffer Live. Yeah. It took Puffer Live to convince him. It's cool to see that this like more technical article is doing kind of decently as well. Okay, so we can confidently say this thing is not doing anything, which is good in this case. See, there's a little bit of red battery, a little bit of red ore, a bit of heart gained, and nothing, which is good, but it should be. Now, can they learn to gather lots of ore? Very interesting questions that we answer here. Low runs. Word goes up. Word goes up nice and quick. This should go up a lot because it basically can just spam the button and keep getting more reward. So if it can't do this, it is very dumb. Yeah, this should just keep going straight up for basically the whole episode. Once it gets to above, what's that, 22 or whatever? 24? We'll know there isn't some weird cap. Oh, is there some weird cap? Huh. I think there's a weird cap. Probably the inventory size, right? It's probably the inventory. Hmm. I'll use the restroom and then we will be figuring out what this is. It's very convinced this is all the ore you can get. Okay, there's definitely some sort of fundamental limit here. This is a trivial task. I bet it's the inventory size, right? We'll double check, but I bet that's what it is. So this like metric's probably just scaled wrong. Okay, so this worked immediately. So this is scaled wrong. By 24, maybe? Not quite. But this red ore thing, we can see here, we get 45 reward. So this sum is the correct thing. And the reason for this, by the way, is 0.5 times 100 item max. You can get up to 50 items. We're very close to that, we see. I think technically it starts out with a couple in its inventory. Okay, so next step. Can we just do this and have it get hearts? Simple question. Oh, interestingly, it was kind of starting to like learn, I guess, to get rid of hearts. Or to use hearts, I guess, to get rid of inventory items, maybe? I mean, hopefully for the folks watching, you get the general gist of what I'm trying to do here. I'm kind of sleepy today, but let me just sort of explain, right? We have this hideously complicated environment where, like, I think that RL should solve it very easily. And in fact, I have solved it with earlier versions of Pufferlib on earlier versions of the environment. But somehow they've, like, some stuff is just broken and it's not working correctly. So, there are a bunch of intermediate objectives. and they kind of just have them all thrown together. So I'm changing it so that it only rewards for like the first really easy objective. And then what if we just reward for the last objective? So like, can it figure out everything end to end? I'm trying basic little stuff like this, and I'm making sure that the expected rewards that we should be getting match up with the metrics, and they only seem to match up with this rewards.mean. They don't actually match the other ones. So I think the other ones are scaled wrong, and we have to go off of this reward mean. And then basically we see from here whether training is still stuck in the same spot as before. Okay, so the reward mean metric is stuck, but the heart get metric goes up. Interesting. 0.3-ish. These all like just stop collecting ore, right? This goes up and then it goes back down. This goes... The batteries keep going up, but only to like 0.35 or whatever. Probably doing some like very locally optimal thing. We should probably just get the policy renderer working now. We'll do that next. Okay, 0.32-ish. Parts. Not very good. Can definitely do better than that. Play done. We done taking forever? No? Does this actually run, or do they just break my stuff? Just so dumb. Base. Like, with the mechanics that are in this environment now, I could literally re-implement this thing in less than 1,000 lines, have it train like 3 million plus steps per second, and it would be fine. Annoys me, man. Okay. I have to pull latest meta. So literally all this does is make my life harder. Okay, I got it running again. Make sure it's still the same. replay writer thing. Replay writer. That's super. Probably this, right? Play. See what's in here? Write replay. We back? Oh yeah, it's literally just the web app. It just, I guess it eats all your memory and dies. Very cool. Hopefully stream is good. Like it is. Okay, it's just a compressed file, that's fine. So we'll just do puffer, tank, docker, meta, replay. We'll do like this. Stream good as always. How's it going, man? Hey, how you doing? We're debugging crazy environment things on very difficult to figure out code. Okay. I was... Dang it, now the mic is picking up my typing since I moved it. Alright, I'll have to fix that, my bad. I'm not liking how locked up my system is. Like, what is it that's running on this? Nothing. There's like some ghost stuff here? I don't know. Weird. Let's grab files. It's definitely something with the meta stuff, though. Like, I don't know what it is. That like, the system is always super fast. Something with metas just, like, screwed it up. It's probably these tabs or something are just, like... Get rid of all this crap, you know? They're probably, like, eating a bunch of memory and not showing somehow. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. Be this one, no? Hang on. I guess we need the other URL as well. There we go. Hopefully this thing doesn't eat all the memory and die again. Okay, so that works. And now I need the other command. Check DM. Cool. That'd be, yeah, that's super cool. That's pretty high up there in the priorities as well. Oops. Turn the volume down just a little bit. Let me know if that's still too loud or too quiet or what. This needs a specific WebSocket, doesn't it? It's gonna drive me crazy, this, like, jank visualization and crap. How's this shit still broken, man? This is getting ridiculous. Oh, okay, I'm dumb. That's why. Cool. Close this. Over here so I don't do that again. How do I upload? How do I view replays in this? Ridiculous. How the hell is this thing supposed to work? How's next? How you doing? I hope you're all good. This environment's driving me bonkers, man. Is what's going on. I guess for now I'll just go back to like freaking trying experiments blind. But this renderer does not work for shit. It just doesn't work. And none of the code makes any bloody sense, so I can't fix it. Love to fix it, but the code makes no sense whatsoever. Like, it's like almost perfectly designed to make my life difficult. Ay. Okay. Let's just chill out and go back to figuring out what's wrong with the env. So, it gets 0.3 hearts on average. That definitely doesn't make sense, right? Because all you have to do to get those hearts... Oh, you know what? Alter outputs a heart, right? You do 0 on things. Battery. Mines, generators. Altered. I want to know, what does the agents in your environment do? Like, what do they learn and how can this be beneficial? In this environment that I'm working on, I have no idea. It's like... Maybe I can show you. I'll show you quickly on the website. So it's like this resource conversion environment where like the agents run around and convert resources from one type to another. This is like a third-party environment that I'm trying to fix for the authors of it. Do like 20 mines. Are we at that slow SPS? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with this environment, man? Hang on. Something's not right here, yeah? My CPU hammered or something? Just that slow. Bizarre. How can we simulate a real-world scenario, and does that even ever happen? Yeah, of course. So, like, what we're doing here is fundamental RL research, right? You use RL on simulators that just, it's not a game. Instead, it's like a driving sim or a drone or a robot or an industrial process. It's been used in a ton of different cases. It's just a heck of a lot easier to do research on games a lot of the time. They're way more interpretable, at least when they're built sanely. Um, and there's like a very long history of AI research being done on games and then used elsewhere. We actually have like a basic driving sim. We've got like this terraforming sim, and we've got a drone sim all on the website now. Question above from me. How do I explain batch size param in config for vec versus batch size in env section? So the one in the env is the number of, I think we did for GPU drive, it's the total number of cars, right? So it's the total number of cars in however many maps that it takes on one process. And then the vec is the number of processes. You can do like 10, 24 cars per process, and then 8 processes. This env is freaking molasses is going on. This is going to drive me insane. So we're gonna just like, what this is gonna have a mine, a generator, and an altar. Then it's going to be 11. Where is it? By 11 room. One 1. Okay. Drive me insane, I swear. 8192. Oh. Wait, what? Steps taken. Well, yes, that's technically could be the same thing. I think. Don't tell me this is slower. Nah, don't tell me this is slower. Ugh. Why is the environment so, huh? Why is it so? 96. 6. And somehow still gonna be slow. I'm sure. No. Let me make sure something's not just totally screwed up on my system. You know, like Breakout Train's normal. That's slow. This is just pathetic how slow this thing is. Like slightly better. 84% end time. Yeah, is unacceptably low. Yeah, I don't know what they've done, man. It's just like, it's a very simple env. It should run millions. It's just, the code is just bad. No, it's already at 16 workers. It's just bad. Like, I'm gonna have to go in and figure it out. And it's like modern C++ nightmare, so I don't know what to... It's like genuinely a cool project as well. It's just like this, like the exact opposite of how I would build it. Like, I want to help them. It's just, it's very difficult the way the code is. Like, this is literally at this point, like, because they've stripped down some of the mechanics, I'm pretty sure, in order to make it, like, actually work. This is the type of thing where I could probably implement this whole env and have it working 10 times this speed, like 3 days tops. But, you know, they want all their, like... This in all the envs. Spikes up and then it spikes down. And the word goes up. Spamming something. Not have reward. Very little reward. We need to find some setting that's like faster than this though. Thank you, Typhlosion. That's a good username. Typhlosion fan 44. I mean, this has done decent numbers here. Check article. Is it cool if you make a LinkedIn page now? How hard is it to set that up for a company? Oh, I gotta do this from the other browser. Hang on. I guess we'll just make today deal with all the cursed, horrible software and sites. And okay. Oh, it's 5:37. I got dinner soon. Here, finish this. Usually have DM'd you. I think I have to sign into a personal LinkedIn first. Let me figure out. Wait, how the heck did it? I didn't update this thing, I didn't think. I guess it has my PhD on it. Somehow. Business. Website, man. What the heck industry is this supposed to be? What? Yes. Let's ask Grok. What should Puff AI list for industry page? Does it know what the things are? Yes, free services. Privately held. LinkedIn chat. I gotta upload the pufferfish. I should have him on my computer. Shouldn't I? Here's a puffer. Thing's got it. Look at this. I literally be back. It's literally dropping my OBS. That's how dumb this thing is. I don't know how this is not worth like $0. Let me see if I can get this to work before it literally breaks again. Oh, it literally is their file browser. It's that bad. Crashes your like maximally spec possible desktop when you try to upload a file as a new one. I don't know how you do that. The stream is lagging. Are you training? Nope, that's LinkedIn. I gotta do this, and then hopefully it'll let me upload a logo. Maybe they have. Do we have the technology? Let's see. Where's Wait, how do I not? It doesn't let me upload a logo. Oh no, not this again. There goes the stream. This is why I didn't want to do this, man. Nobody can build software, least of all these guys. It's just like this is like, okay, this is the equivalent of like if you were to go to a restaurant, right? And like, you know, like, and you're like a chef, all right, and they serve you like instant ramen, okay? That's how I feel right now seeing this freaking software. Literally their file browser. It's gonna crash the stream if I hit wait. Watch this. Nope. Literally just nope. We'll try Firefox. I bet it's OS wide though. Where's my my company page that I just made? Yeah, I will do that. I gotta run for dinner. I'll message you after. For folks watching, thanks. There will be less chaos in the coming days, hopefully. We will have some cool RL again. All the actually fun stuff's at puffer.ai. You can start the repo to help us out for